Hello guys, welcome to Theory Part 2. We have already discussed about the mean and the median. Today we'll talk about the remaining topics, that is mode, range and standard deviation. And from there we'll move on to some tough questions and then some data sufficiency tough questions and finish up the statistics. So let's talk about mode. What is the meaning of mode? Mod simply means the number or the element with maximum frequency. So now I'm looking for an element which has maximum frequency. All right. Or you can simply say which is occurring maximum number of times in the set. So if we have a set, let us say something like 1, 2, 7, 3, 2, 5. Now, the number which occur maximum time is simply 2. So 2 is occurring 2 times and the rest of the numbers, they are occurring 1 time. So the mod is simply 2. It has nothing to do with the mean or median. It is totally calculated in a very different style. So it's maximum number of times whatever the element occurs, that is a mod. But a thing to note is, if I take a set which is something like this, 1, 2, 3 and 2, 3, 7. Now what is the mod? 2 also occur 2 times and 3 also occur 2 times. See, what will you answer? 2 or 3 or 2 plus 3 upon 2? No, your simple answer 2 and 3. Here 2 is also the mod and 3 is also the mod. Rather, your set has 2 mods. This is called as bimodal set. Sometimes you can make a very good question from here. So a number or a set basically is a bimodal set which has 2 mods. All right. Now, how can I make a good question? For example, if I say a set has 1, x, 2, 3, and 2, and it is given that this set is a bimodal set. If the question tells me that this is a bimodal set, what can I talk about x? I can tell that x is either equals to 1 or x is equals to 3. Because if it is any other number, then the only mod we will have will be 2. If it is a bimodal set, that means I must have 2 mods, and 2 is occurring 2 times. So either 1 or 3 has to occur for 2 times. So either x equals to 1 or x equals to 3. So this much is already known. So very good data sufficiency questions can be made. If second statement is given that x is prime, that means x is definitely 3. So that's how you can make some good questions from mod and bimodal set. Now, if you understood this concept, have a look at this one as well. If I have a set like this 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Now, what is the mod? Mod is 1, 2, and 3? No, there is no mod in this scenario. For a mod to occur, you should be at least more than one of the element. Now, 1 also occurs 2 times, 2 also occurs 2 times, and 3 also occurs 2 times. Nobody is occurring more than anything. Here in bimodal set, 2 and 3 both occurred more than 1 and 7, so they were the mods. Here 2 occurred more than 1, 3, 7, 5, they were the mod. But here 1 is occurring maximum number of times. No. From whom you are calculating? Nobody is occurring less than 2 times. There is simply no mod. For a set like this, 1, 2, 3, everything is occurring the same time, you have no mod. So if you want to create a mod, you have to make one element superior to other. And what do I mean by superior over here? The greater in number of times it occur in the set. That's it about the mod. You should know so maximum number of times, bimodal set, and the case when no mod occur. All right, guys. So done with the mod as well. Let's go for range. What is the meaning of range? Range simply means the maximum value minus the minimum value of the set. Let's take an example. If we have a set S, let's say -2, 0, 3, 5, and 9. What is the maximum value of the set? Clearly 9. What is the minimum value of the set? -2. So in this case, the range simply is maximum, which is 9, minus the minimum, which is -2. Be very careful with the minus sign over here. 2 minus become plus, and the range becomes 9 plus 2, and that's an 11. So that symbol is the range. But there is an important question or concept, you can say, where GMAT asks a lot of questions. Let's see what is that. If you are given a set 1, -2, x, 3, and 5. Now, if the question tells you that the range of this set is equal to 10. Now, there are two possibilities. First thing, note, if the x would not have been there, the range would have been 5 minus -2, that's 7. But the range is 10. That means x will play a role in your range. Now, how can x play the role? The x can be either maximum or the x can be minimum. Now, if your x is maximum, then 5 is no more maximum now. But the minimum, does it change? No, the minimum still is -2. So the range, that is 10, is equals to maximum, which is x, minus the minimum, that's -2. So from here, the x comes out to be 8 with the help of little calculation. Now, if the x would have been minimum, does your maximum change? No. And now the range, which is 10, is equals to maximum, which is unchanged, minus the minimum. But the minimum we have changed now, and it is x. So x comes out to be -5. That's it. Now, the x is not a fixed value. It can be either -5 or 8. Good data sufficiency questions will be made from here. So be very careful that you do not take x as maximum always or minimum always. It has to be given. Till now, the data is insufficient. It can be 8 as well as -5. Clear? Now, one more important area in this. Pause this and write it down. Once you have written, move ahead. Another important question which can be made from here is, if I change this range to, let us say, 7, now what? Now, if you do not consider x in this set, still the range is 7. That means x is not impacting the range. That means the maximum is still 5 and the minimum is still -2. What does that mean? That x has to lie between 5 and -2, because the maximum is still the 5, the minimum is still the -2. That means the x has to lie between 5 and -2. But wait a minute, it can also be equal to -2 and 5. Otherwise, you'll make a mistake. Let us say the question asks us that x is an integer. What are the possible values it can take such that the range is 7? People mark -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, thinking that the maximum and the minimum does not change. Very correct. But why not 5? If x takes 5, the range is still 7. And why not -2? Still the range is 7. So be very careful that you do not miss the 5 and -2. They are also the solutions. X can take all the values from -2 to 5. But if the range is greater than 7, x can take only two possible values, either the maximum of the set or the minimum of the set. That's it for range. Later on, we'll see some more beautiful questions, difficult questions, interesting questions, right? And we'll club all of these things together. So let me just give you a recap. We have talked about 4 things so far. That is your mean, median, mod, and range. In the next lecture, we'll talk about the last concept, that is standard deviation. Be very careful. If you're going to end this series with us, you'll be able to do each and every question of statistic in GMAT. But the first 3 videos will concretize your concepts, and you should know each and every concept before going ahead. Otherwise, guys, you'll face a lot of trouble when the good questions come into the picture. Quick recap: mean was sum of elements upon the number of elements. For short form elements, I'm using ELE. Median was the central term. Remember, I told you to not forget to arrange it in ascending or descending order. There were 2 cases when the number of terms were odd and the number of terms were even. For odd, the central term was n by 2, and here you have a +1. So n plus 1 by 2th term. For even, we have 2 central terms, n by 2th term and n by 2 plus 1th term. And we have to take the average of the 2 terms. This was the median if your numbers of elements were even. This was the median if the number of elements were odd. Mod, the number with maximum frequency. I hope you remember the case of bimodal set, right, and multimodal set, and the case of no mod. If you have forgotten, please go back before moving to the questions. Range is simple maximum minus minimum number or element of the set. That's it for this lecture. Continue, move ahead for the standard deviation. I hope you're enjoying the series. Please let us know if you're enjoying it by liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel. Some more free content, entire quant content we'll upload. Just guys, we need your support so it boosts up to add all the content quickly, and everything will be there free of cost. Bye-bye.